And right now in this session we're gonna work with grid or arcs, which is the first tool in structural Revit we're gonna talk about. Well, the tool of grid or arcs, there are some hypothetical lines that are used to specify the center of the reinforcement or columns, but actually not only the center of the columns, but also you can specify some dimensions or offsets. Actually, grids are annotations elements that helps organize your design. Actually, grids are hypothetical line that passes from the center of your columns, and it is sketched in vertical and horizontal way. And actually grids are shown with a combination of points and lines, which it is considered as the standard of the arcs. And as I told you before, the axes are two types, horizontal and vertical. Actually, the vertical axes are specified with numbers, for example 1 4 1 2 3 4, and horizontal axes are specified with alphabetic letters, for example A to Z, and so on, in this way. Actually, in some of the standards or the projects, especially in projects which are shopped, there is a point here. For example, here I sketch an arcs and horizontal arcs, for example 1, and suppose that for example I sketch another one and then consider 0. Actually we don't have 0 in axis, but it is an example. And for example in vertical axis like this, we got I, A, and for example I and O. Generally in some of the plans and in standards, especially in shops, the items are of I and O are deleted from the actually order of the naming of axes. And actually in some orders or in some standards, O is not deleted, but 0 is deleted instead. Since for example some plans when got printed, or for example if they wanted to observe the plan from an electronic device, so they delete 0 to not to confuse it with O, and that they delete I to not to confuse it with 1. So in this standard we got an obstacle to prevent from confusion. So if in plans I was missed or skipped, do not be surprised, since they are deleted to prevent the confusion. So this was the point that it was necessary to tell you. Even in some softwares of shops, for example Advanced Steel, this rule is considered as a default, unless you want to modify it in a manual way. Anyway, here I select grid or arcs. And don't forget that grid is able to be sketched in plan. Also in elevations, as you can see, you are able to sketch them, but in 3D you're not allowed to sketch grids, as you can see. Note that we cannot observe the grids in 3D. I mean, even if I sketch the grids, again I cannot observe them in 3D view. But this is for the version of 2021, since in the version of 2022 you're able to sketch grids in 3D view and observe them as well, and actually select each of the grids. So from the version of 2022 on, you will have no problems in sketching grids in 3D and control them. So here, as we are using the version of 2021, we cannot use grid in 3D view. Anyway, here in level 1, I select arcs and then I start sketching grids. Here up there you got some options, and as you can see, I will explain them one by one. Anyway, as I said before, you can sketch arcs in horizontal and vertical way. That's verticals with numbers, and horizontals are specified with alphabetic letters. So in this way I sketch one. Here we got some icons, we will talk about them later, and another one named 2, as you can see. Here you can control the offset, for example 4250, and then you continue sketching the next arcs 2800, or I can here click on pick line and then I specify a value for offset, For example, I specify 3200, and after that I hold the mouse on these edges, and then the grid will be sketched automatically, and the next one 3800, for example, in this way, holding a mouse and click,